The studio lights burned bright, casting stark shadows across the set where Alex Jones faced Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. No desk separated them, just two chairs in a raw, unshielded setup that promised every twitch and glare would be caught on camera for millions. What was meant to be a routine political debate was about to ignite into a moment that would echo for years, dissected in classrooms and replayed across screens. The producers knew sparks would fly, but they didn't anticipate a demolition that would leave one side in ruins. Jones, with his trademark bluster, thought he'd steamroll another opponent. Crockett, however, had spent weeks preparing, her manila folder brimming with documents that would unravel his empire of lies before a live audience. Welcome back to our special debate segment. The host announced, cameras rolling nationwide. Tonight, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones takes on Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett from Texas. Jones leaned forward, his familiar smirk signaling confidence. He dominated countless debates with his booming voice and relentless accusations. But Crockett sat composed, her folder resting neatly beside her, eyes sharp with purpose. "Alex," she said, her voice slicing through the tension, "I've been waiting for this moment for a long time." Jones laughed, oblivious to the trap closing around him. "Oh, really, Congresswoman?" He shot back, his tone dripping with mockery. The studio buzzed with anticipation. Camera operators zoomed in, sensing history in the making. The crew exchanged nervous glances, aware they were witnessing something monumental. Jones expected an easy win, his strategy honed over decades, overwhelmed with rapid-fire claims, emotional outbursts, and conspiracies too tangled to refute in real time. His media empire, built on outrage and supplement sales, had made him millions. But Crockett wasn't just another politician. A former civil rights attorney, she'd faced down bullies in courtrooms, armed with facts and unshakable calm. Her folder held evidence that would expose Jones not just as a fraud, but as a deliberate profiteer of pain. To grasp the weight of this clash, you need to know the players. Jones, 50, had built a fortune on conspiracy theories, secret plots, false flags, global cabals, captivating millions who believed his every word. His platform raked in revenue through merchandise and supplements. His red-faced rants both meme fodder and weapons against unprepared foes. But his empire rested on a fragile foundation of lies, vulnerable to someone with the right evidence. Crockett, 42, was that someone. A Dallas congresswoman and seasoned attorney, she'd earned a reputation for meticulous preparation and devastating cross-examinations. She'd studied Jones's claims, cross-referenced them with facts, and anticipated his deflections. For her, this wasn't just a debate, it was personal. Jones's lies had fueled harassment against her constituents, from elderly voters scared to leave home to parents forced to change their kids' schools after doxing. This was a battle between truth and profitable deception. Jones launched into his signature attack mode, pointing at Crockett like a conductor of chaos. "You and your party push the biggest conspiracies in history," he shouted, accusing her of attacking patriotic Americans. His supporters cheered, feeding off his performative rage. Crockett watched, jotting notes, her expression calm as he paced like a caged animal. "You talk about misinformation," Jones continued, waving his phone dramatically, "but you're part of the establishment lying to Americans for decades." The cameras caught every gesture, his theatrics playing to his bass. Crockett waited unfazed. "Are you done, Mr. Jones?" she asked when he paused, her tone steady. He laughed, leaning in. "I'm just getting started, sweetheart." Crockett raised an eyebrow at the condescension. "I'm a sitting member of Congress and an attorney. Let's keep this professional." Jones ignored her, doubling down. "You politicians think you can intimidate real Americans with your corrupt system." His supporters roared, but Crockett's allies watched closely, sensing her calm was a prelude to something bigger. "Truth," she finally said, her voice cutting through his noise. "Let's have an honest conversation about your relationship with that concept." Jones faltered, caught off guard by her confidence. "Here we go," he scoffed, "another politician lecturing me while covering up Washington's conspiracies." Crockett opened her folder. "I'm not lecturing. I'm showing everyone what your version of truth looks like." The studio fell silent. Jones stopped pacing, sensing a shift. "While you've been shouting conspiracies and selling supplements," Crockett said, pulling out a stack of papers, "I've been doing research." She held up documents with color-coded tabs. These are 17 claims you've made over the past 2 years, debunked by independent sources, claims that caused real harm, and I have evidence you knew they were false. Jones's face reddened. That's completely false, he shouted. You can't make accusations without proof. Oh, I have proof, Crockett said, smiling faintly. That's the difference between us. She pulled out another document. Let's start with your claim that an elementary school tragedy was a hoax causing families to be harassed. The audience froze. Jones tried to interrupt. This is a setup. You're ambushing me with out-of-context documents. But Crockett pressed on, her voice steady. These aren't out of context. They're your own words, your own emails, your own financial records. She held up an email from his staff, dated 3 months after the tragedy. Alex knows the families are real, but the audience doesn't want to hear that. Keep the conspiracy angle for ratings. Gasps rippled through the studio. Jones's supporters shifted uncomfortably. That's taken out of context, he yelled, but Crockett was relentless. She produced revenue reports. Your supplement sales rose 340% while you pushed that conspiracy. You made $2 million profiting off grieving families. The numbers hit like a bomb. Jones, sweating, stammered, those numbers are coincidental. People want the truth. Crockett, read another email. When people ask for evidence, redirect to emotional arguments. Don't engage with facts. The audience sat in stunned silence, absorbing the proof that Jones's operation dodged scrutiny. Then came the final blow. Do you remember a conversation with your head researcher 2 years ago? Crockett asked, holding up a transcript. Jones paled. I don't know what you're talking about. She read aloud, Jones, I know the families are real, but we've gone too far to back down. If we admit we're wrong, our credibility's shot. Researcher, but Alex, these families are getting death threats. Jones, that's not our responsibility. The studio erupted. Jones exploded. That's an illegal recording, a globalist setup. But Crockett remained calm. This was recorded by your own employee who came forward because he couldn't stomach your lies. She looked at him directly. Knowing these families lost children, knowing your audience harassed them, do you have anything to say? Jones doubled down, screaming, I'm not apologizing for asking questions. That's what journalists do. But his outburst only highlighted his desperation against Crockett's evidence. You're not a journalist, she said quietly. You're a businessman profiting off fear and pain. She turned to the camera. America deserves better. Media that respects truth and takes responsibility for harm. Jones kept shouting, but his credibility lay shattered. The aftermath was seismic. Within minutes, #Crockett destroys Jones trended with 100,000 posts. A 30-second clip of Crockett's calm evidence versus Jones's meltdown went viral, amassing millions of views. Memes flooded platforms. One showed Crockett with facts, and Jones with a feelings of megaphone. Sponsors pulled ads, payment processors reviewed ties, and Jones's supplement sales dropped 60% in a week. Democrats praised Crockett's approach. Even some Republicans, like a moderate senator, admitted profiting from pain is wrong. Legal experts noted Jones's meltdown could hurt his ongoing civil cases, with families citing his admissions as evidence. The debate became a cultural touchstone. Schools used it to teach media literacy, showing how Crockett's evidence trumped emotion. Psychology professors analyzed Jones's unraveling as a case study in irrational discourse. Journalism courses adopted Crockett's approach as a model for investigative presentation. Social media platforms faced pressure, leading to new policies against harmful conspiracies. Jones tried to recover, claiming a setup, attacking Crockett, then pivoting to broader conspiracies, but his own words doomed him. His audience dwindled, with former supporters like one who wrote, I thought Alex fought for truth, but he just screamed when caught. Crockett's profile soared. Law schools invited her to speak on advocacy. Media sought her insights on countering misinformation. She became a model for politicians, proving lies are fought with documented truth, not louder lies. The debate set a Crockett standard for evidence-based discourse studied in political science classes. Months later, asked what she learned, Crockett said, truth is its own advocate. Present the facts clearly and people will see. The nation saw preparation defeat desperation, evidence outshine emotion, and truth expose deception. It was a roadmap for confronting lies in an age where truth is a battleground.